the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're huddling salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilantes calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies.
Oh wow, I got a good one for you guys today. Now this video, it's going to be more of just a fun joking around video. It's not really a serious one. I know that none of these people on this podcast actually want games to go to $80. I've talked to some of them behind closed doors. I know personally they don't want the games to go to $80. But unfortunately, I do think that some of them are going to pay the $80. I think some will not. Only time's going to tell which ones are those. You might be able to guess, but I know you guys always enjoy hearing from one of the channel's fan favorites of Nintendo Prime. Let's get into this reaction, shall we?
It's going to be interesting to see what they do because the prices have gone up.
Unfortunately, yes, they have.
It's sort of weird because Nintendo is raising the prices on the top end. And I kind of feel like that can reflect on the low end as well.
Which they should have never raised to begin with. Those games should have never been put at $80, period.
So I wonder if, like, on Switch, Welcome Tour would have been free and Dragon Drive would have been 10.
Regardless whether they raised them, period, Welcome Tour should have been a pack-in title. Honestly, if Nintendo would have sat there and made Welcome Tour a pack-in title and made Drag X Drive a pack-in title, I would have applauded Nintendo for that. They would have got a round of applause from me.
But because we're on Switch 2, it's 10 and 20. I wonder that. I don't know.
Come on, Primey. I know you're itching to come out and say it. Just say that it was wrong. Please do, Primey. Let the old Prime come out. Stop hiding him.
So I'm very, like, it's more of these, the premium IPs, like the Marios, the Pokemons, the Zeldas. We know those are 70 or 80.
Primey, stop giving Nintendo ideas. We don't need them to raise other games up to $80. Come on here. You're being a bad influence.
Like, I don't know how many are going to touch 80. I almost guarantee the next 3D Zelda is going to be $80. That's
No, come on, Primey. Stop saying such vile things. I know you secretly don't hope this happens. Don't. We got to fight, Primey, right? If this happens, we're going to fight, correct?
that's one I think they will charge 80 for, because they charge 70. They charge 70 for Tears of the Kingdom,
which that broke my heart when they did. I was hoping Nintendo was going to hold off on it, but unfortunately they did not. And at worst, they released the first $80 game.
Well, it's 80 right now.
Yeah, 80 now. You get that extra content,
which should have been free. Look at Astrobot. They gave extra DLC how many times, and it was free.
So they're already normalizing 80 on Switch 2 for Zelda. So I kind of feel like the next one's going to be 80. Now,
Primey, come on. Stop giving Nintendo this idea. You know better than this. Let the inner Prime out. The old Prime would never say such things.
I do think 3D Zelda has a higher opportunity of blowing people away, unlike Mario Kart.
No game will ever blow me away to be worth $80, Primey. You should know this.
Where people will feel like, damn, of course I'll spend 80 on this. Look at this shit.
Absolutely not. I will still fight against $80 games. Hell no, they're not worth it. No game is worth $80.
Because the Zelda team cooks, and they always cook.
Don't cook enough to justify 80.
And right now, at least as of Tears of the Kingdom, that's the biggest budget game Nintendo's ever made.
If he's talking about Mario Kart World, an $80 game, that budget was not enough to justify that $80 price point.
So it is also their biggest budget team. So with that being the case, and we kind of figure their next 3D Zelda game is probably their most expensive game ever made.
It most likely will be, and it's most likely going to be a phenomenal game. But come on, Primey, me and you, we should team up and fight against it. What do you say?
Yeah, it being $80, you can kind of understand why Nintendo's going to keep that at the top end of the price point.
Just because they can doesn't mean they should.
But I'm going to be very curious. Do they put 3D Mario at 80?
I don't think so.
There we go, Birdie. You say it. Sit there and say no. They're going to sit there and put that game at 70, which it should be. Honestly, I would hope it would be cheaper. I'm also not overly a huge fan of Mario. I am tired of 3D Mario. I think Mario's overrated. I want a 3D Yoshi Island game. That's what we need.
I think the next mainline Zelda is going to be 80. I think the next Smash Brothers is going to be 80.
Unfortunately, it will be, but don't you guys worry. I will fight for all you guys, even you, all the ones on that panel. I will fight for you guys when it comes to these $80 games.
Does
The two big ones that I don't think are going to be 80 is 3D Mario. It's just a gut. just a gut feeling. And the other one, even though it's one of the biggest sellers and is insanely popular, but I still don't think they're going to make that same jump in price, is Animal Crossing.
I actually agree with you, Birdie. With Mario Kart 3D, they may not raise that one up to 80, but again, I wouldn't surprise me if they did. Nothing now that Nintendo really does, or almost everything Nintendo does can surprise me. But with Animal Crossing, I could see them moving that one up to 80. How well that game sold on the first Switch, I could definitely see them jacking that up to $80. But will surprise me is if Nintendo actually lowers these down to like 60, I will probably have a heart attack.
I think Mario and Animal Crossing will stay at 70, which is going to be like your...
Oh, I hope so. But unfortunately, unless we stand and fight, all these games are going to go to $80.
Typical AAA Nintendo game.
So how many games do you think Nintendo's going to even attempt to put at 80? Like they did it with Mario Kart.
Hopefully never again. I am hoping not a single game will ever go up to $80 from Nintendo, but I do not think that will happen. I think they will sit there and do it.
Which we all know the reason they did it is because it's their best-selling IP.
That is very true. And unfortunately, look at Nintendo treating you guys like shit, and you guys were so loyal to them, and you guys were a huge fan of Mario Kart, and they had to use your fanness against you guys.
So if you use that logic, they did 80 on that because it sells a shitload.
Okay, Primey, continue. I ain't got all damn night, but I will allow this.
Okay, well, what other franchises always sell a shitload? Pokemon.
Let me
Always
ask you this, though.
Please, Primey, do not give Nintendo any ideas of raising Pokemon games up to 80. I beg of you.
Guys, they charge $80 for Pokemon.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Primey, that got you to say Jesus Christ because they're going to put Pokemon at $80? Oh, but Mario Kart World, that didn't make you say Jesus Christ, did it?
Think about all the people that buy, both versions, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at...
Which, honestly, there is no reason to even buy both versions. They're pretty much identically the same. Now, Scarlet and Violet were a little different, but fundamentally, the story was pretty much the same. It was just the setting was different. So it wasn't like how it was when you first started, where you actually... or they were actually important because you were able to trade with each other. Now, with the power of the internet, you really don't need two different copies.
With tax, out the door, $175, $180.
Which is outrageous for two damn games. It should not cost that much to buy two damn games here.
That's
What if they did?
Some countries paying 200. And the thing is with Pokemon is we'd be like, oh, they wouldn't do that.
Oh, the hell they wouldn't do that. Who are you trying to fool? I know you're sitting here going to sit there and say probably that they would do it, but who honestly thinks Nintendo would not do that?
Well, technically,
Yes,
it's all be
they
handheld
totally would.
games, and then Switch came, and they all jumped to $60.
Which I was fine with that. $60 was a very good price for those games, I think. I mean, they could have went down to 50, but at 60, I was still happy.
And they sold better than ever.
Well, Primey, if we are going to be honest here, when you look at the Switch games versus the 3DS games, the Switch games do look like they are of a higher quality and a lot more fun. Well, maybe not a lot more fun, but they do look graphically of a higher quality here.
If I was the Pokemon company or Game Freak, I think the right move is you increase the price to 80.
Huh?
And you give it's both in one.
No. What we need to do, Birdie, me and you need to lead the charge. We need to become the top CEOs of Game Freak, and we need to include both and drop the price down to 60. How does that sound instead? That sounds like a much better idea.
Kind of like how Fire Emblem 3 Houses, it's 3 campaigns in one game instead of the multiple versions that they were doing on the 3DS.
You know, I actually do need to give Fire Emblem another shot. I was never a huge fan of it because I hate the tactical combat type stuff. I hate that type of combat. It drives me crazy.
Prior to Switch.
And I want to keep this in mind with Pokemon. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were $60. So was Scarlet and Violet.
Yes, and those prices were pretty reasonable for what you got. So what's your point, Primey?
Yeah.
Does that even make sense?
I think I know. I think I know Nintendo's pricing, how they price things.
Okay, Mike Odyssey, please explain. Continue on, sir.
Mario Kart World was $80 for 2 reasons: best-selling game and its multiplayer.
I agree with you. Still don't think it should have been $80. I will never accept that.
So you can buy just one copy for the household and just.
No. It don't matter if you can have 4 people play on that damn game at once and you're going to be like, oh, that's $20 a person. No. That game should have been 60 or 70.
Play that game with your friends, and it's a multiplayer. It's a big IP multiplayer.
Yes, that's a big selling point of it, where it sits there and you can have a lot of fun, play with family and friends. Yes, we get what multiplayer is, so please get to your point already.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is 70 games. It's a one
Yes, it's single player. It looks phenomenal. Only time's going to tell if it's actually worth $70 or not.
player game, massive game. But so I think Nintendo's gonna go that same route. Any big multiplayer IP, Smash Bros might be 80.
No, how dare you? Do not disrespect Smash Bros. We need to make sure that stays at $70, not $80.
Whenever it's come out, whenever it comes out, and the next Mario is gonna be 70.
I agree with you, but we need to definitely fight just to make sure that Super Smash Bros. Of all the Nintendo IPs, Super Smash Bros. Needs to stay under 80. That is very important to the successfulness of Nintendo, because that is the greatest Nintendo game ever.
Mario IPs will probably be from 70 to 80, depending on if it's a one player character game.
Unfortunately, it may happen, but if we all choose to stand up and fight, guess what? We can keep them at 70 or lower.
Or a multiplayer game. If it's a multiplayer, it's 80. They can charge more for that because more people playing one single game.
Okay, yes, we get it. If it's a single player game, it's most likely going to be at 70. If it's a multiplayer game, it's most likely going to be at 80. Now, remember, I don't think most of these people actually want the price to go up to 80. They're actually just having some fun discussing what games they think is going to go up to 80. Unfortunately, I think some of them are going to pay for the 80. Some maybe not. I am on the other hand. I do believe some of these games will go up to 80, but I promise you, I will not be one of those people that are going to buy those $80 games. It's time to read off the members of the channel. We got Wuha Terry, Shad3, Milkman, Mad Fox 94, Maximilian Pegasus 88, and Koros Objective. Thank you guys so much for being a member of the crew. And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special kind of badges, you get special kind of emotes, and at the end of all my videos, I will sit here and shout out all my members until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. So that's going to be it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're